Hey, it's Rufio, 103.5 Kiss FM here with Joshua Dunn of 21 Pilots. How are you, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. You just got done. You had a show last night, first night of the Bandito Tour. I don't know why it's hard to say like Bandito. Like it's
Bandito. Yeah.
How was the first night in Nashville?
Man, it was fun. It's a crazy thing when you release a record and then you play the first, because first show of any tour is tough, I think. But especially when there's new songs, a new album, and high expectation. And we also kind of, we took a little over a year. Actually, it was like 17 months since our last show. So I think that, gosh dang it, the radio. There were definitely some nerves going into it from Tyler and I. And it is, I think after playing a bunch of shows, you would think that we would feel fine being in front of a lot of people, but I don't know if there ever will be a moment where we're just like, cool, no problem, let's go do it. So
That's awesome, though.
It was a lot of fun. It was, I think we had more preparation than we ever have, and that was really important for us. So to go out there and play kind of feeling a little bit more confident was helpful.
Nice. Now, speaking of nerves, I'm super nervous. Like, I'm a huge fan of you guys. I was introduced to you guys in 2013. You guys were in town for Lala.
Yeah.
And in Chicago, and you guys came to Kiss FM. You did a little small performance in our super small lounge.
Yeah.
You played on one of those, I don't know, the
Cajon.
Cajon.
Yeah, I think I've since stopped playing those things because I naturally, I just like to hit really hard.
You were jamming out, man.
Yeah.
I remember like it was yesterday. And Tyler had his ukulele, well, electric ukulele, I do believe, and you guys played House of Gold, and I was like hooked from that point. Like I really didn't know who you guys were, or and then you guys gave me Vessel, like the actual CD, and I listened to it, and I've been a fan ever since.
Cool.
Yeah, my wife and I are huge fans, so I'm happy that you guys are back, and I want to talk about the album. You guys obviously ended Blurry Face. You guys you said 17 months off, and now you're back. Was it difficult doing the album now that you live in LA and Josh was still in Columbus? Was it tough to do it that way?
I've always thought about that when I moved out there, and I've kind of thought about it was just like we're always together, even though we kind of live in separate places. So Blurry Face was all written pretty much on the road, on the bus and in hotel rooms. And so this one, because of how crazy the end of the last tour got, it just kind of was tough to write. So everything was written after the tour ended. And this was the first time that I felt the distance kind of in a way where I was like, oh, yeah, we do live in two different places, and that can be tough.
Was it a bunch of Skype, like FaceTimes and stuff like that?
Yeah, phone calls, and then, just sharing files back and forth. But there's nothing like being in the same room when you're kind of working on stuff. I think that we've always tended to do things. I think creatively he likes to be alone in a dark room, coming up with the skeleton of an idea, and then bring it to me, and then I'll live with it on my own for a little. I mean, that's how it's always been anyway. So it was just that. It was just a little bit more of that. There was kind of less in-person time, but it still did happen.
Yeah.
I'm in Columbus. I think over the past 17 months I was there at the very least once a month.
Okay.
Sometimes twice a month.
Yeah.
And so we would definitely spend time together and talk through ideas and songs. And so, yeah, I think that it felt like there was a little bit more distance than usual, but kind of looking back, it wasn't that different.
Now, you were saying, is it always Tyler coming up with the lyrics and then you guys put the beat together, or did you sometimes have, something in your head that you said, we need to write a song for this?
It's kind of always different. I never really touch lyrics that much unless
it's Josh Dunn.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one lyric that I come up with.
I hope everyone at the show, if you're not like when that song comes on and you guys perform that song, if 20,000 people aren't saying Josh Dunn at that same point, it's like why are you here? You know,
It's my favorite lyric. Very meaningful. But yeah, I mean, unless he asks my opinion, that guy's he's very good at writing lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't usually touch that, but yeah, it's a lot of time, but it's different. The genesis of a song is always different, and sometimes it's I mean, I guess, to be honest, there was a couple songs that I think started on stage during soundcheck.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's
Really?
like him fooling around on a keyboard,
Yeah.
or like me fooling around on the drums, just like checking the PA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it's a cool drum beat. I'll record that on my phone, and then like it turns into something, or like
That's awesome.
I see him just pull out his phone and play a little thing on the piano. I'm like, cool. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about this later. And I like when they start that way.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes like he'll have like kind of like some poetry like written out, and then just need to find a home for it.
Yeah.
Like Pet Cheetah, he brought to me like that version of that verse years ago.
Really?
And I was like, we got to find a home for that.
The rap part, I'm assuming, right? Like the Jason Statham part.
Yeah. So he called me over the summer and was like, I think I got something
Yeah.
for Pet Cheetah. I'm like,
It's like a writing block song to me. Like when I listen to it, it's just like I feel like it was just like to get over a writing block to him, and then it just
that's exactly
yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you're back on social media. You guys are on Reddit sometimes, and I'm pretty sure you've seen all the conspiracy theories about Dima and Clancy and Nico and the Niners. Do you have any kind of input to give the clique, like that's what it means. Can you answer? Do you know who Clancy is? Can you say that? Do you know?
Yeah. I've never met Clancy, but I've heard of him. I've heard people talk about him, and I would love to meet Clancy. But what I'll say is, man, I'm thankful for the people who listen to this band. I mean, like I think that there are a lot of bands. Now, I know that a lot of people want us to just tweet, like, hey, here's what this means, and here's the record. But when I was younger, I loved diving into, even possible ideas or theories of, like, this is what this band meant with this, or, like, with every record, there's a new, like, trying to piece things together. And there's not a lot of bands that, like, try to be intentional about things. And what I've seen is that I think that the reason why is because the fans that they have are they don't dive deep. But I think people have blown me away over the past like 6 or 7 years, even people just kind of diving in and making their own meanings and then figuring out like even things that we meant behind things, and then making their own meanings that kind of shift what we mean sometimes. We're just like, wow, that's even cooler than,
let's go with that one instead.
So I think even throughout this process, it was crazy to see how spot on people kind of were like that.
Is there someone out there that you've seen that's like you've seen someone that's spot on? Like there's a theory out there that's
a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if there's like one in particular which is like, this guy's got it right.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people, and kind of like you said, Reddit and looking on Twitter, seeing people.
It's like an awesome community. Like
totally.
It's like you guys write about and sing about how you're not alone, and you're not alone in this journey. Like you guys are amazing storytellers, and you could even link this album like all the way back to the way the videos come out. Like, did this happen before Blurryface, or what's Blurryface involved in Trench now, with the videos and everything like that. So I think it's so awesome how you guys put a link on a video and someone discovers it, and then boom, it's just this rabbit hole of everything from Dima to the letters to the Blurryface album cover. So it's so many crazy things on how it's just more than a song to a lot of the fans, and that's what I love about you guys, and it's amazing. So thank you for that, for me and for everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've watched so many videos, man, since like April. Like everyone puts out a new video every week. Well, did you see this? Like I saw the one where it's just like, this goes all the way back to Heathens because he's wearing a jumpsuit in there, and then all of a sudden he goes from a jumpsuit, then he's wearing a yellow suit jacket, and then the lyrics in this also match like Nico and the Niners, you know, because he's not everyone escapes. And I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like it's so true. Like I believe everything. Like they say don't believe everything on the internet. I believe everything. Like they're so smart. Like the Clique is so smart, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know the signs of yellow hair. Like you had yellow hair in Heavy Dirty Soul, and the car's connected to that. And you know I don't know. It's I'm just so amazed about it all. Like from your end, from the storytelling part and then now to the fans to discovering it all. It's just amazing. But speaking of the fans, like how does it make you feel that when someone listens to the album, no matter what album it is, and they could relate to it, like this helped me through. Like obviously, I feel like this album Trench is about mental illness. To me, that's what it's about. Like escaping your demons. Like Blurry Face was you're being controlled by Dima, and then all of a sudden now you're trying to get free out of the trench. Like how does it make you feel that you know, someone tweets out or someone hits you up or you just hear someone say, you know, I was in that situation and your music helped me get out or helped me, you know, cope and everything, and made me comfortable with who I am.
Man, well, thanks for all that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool. I guess it never is. I never take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
It's always very meaningful and very powerful when somebody shares their own experience with something that, you know, we created. And I think that's the hope with art, is for people to connect with it. And it's kind of hard to know, I think, ahead of time. When we first started this thing, it was just like, does this make sense on a level that's like even regional? Like,
Yeah.
will strangers come to a show or listen to a song, and is it going to connect in any way? And then it started to on a regional level, and literally after our shows, we both would like split off and have conversations with kids at the show, and even our buddy Mark, who traveled with us, and we'd all get back in the van and just be like, dude, I had this conversation about this. It was so heavy and so serious, and so did I, and wow, we talked about this. And so I think right away there was kind of this like very like deep bond with people, and then I think even from that influenced writing and this kind of like story for the future, that, you know, we're kind of like, if things progress and we can kind of like let this story unfold even more. And then we, you know, it started to get a little bit bigger and saw that even more people were connecting. And that was just, I mean, it's a big responsibility too. And I think that it holds us accountable, not only personally, but also artistically, to kind of figure out how do you continue to tell the story in the right way, and remain pieces of who we are intact, musically and kind of aesthetically, but then also be able to progress at the same time and maybe change a little bit musically. So people, I mean, especially releasing this album, I think it meant a lot that people were on board and that people still connected with these songs, and now playing them live. I mean, last night was the first show of the tour, and I got emotional more than once.
That's amazing.
Seeing how much people connected.
Yeah.
And so quickly too. The album came out like a week ago.
Yeah, I've been listening to it nonstop just because I know you guys are gonna play new songs at the show, so you know I want to be singing along too and be connected with you guys. But congratulations on everything, man. This album is amazing. It really connects with a lot of people, and congratulations on the tour. Everything's sold out. I know I don't want to talk about the tour because people are going to watch this, and then I don't want to ruin it. So I know you guys got some surprises, you know. like I try to stay off of social media too, because everyone was like, "Oh, here's the clip from last
yeah.
night." I was like, "No, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Here's a set list. No, stop. I don't want to see. Like, I want to be,
I'm
you
that
know,
way too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be like in the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of
Yeah.
these shows, like everyone's always on their phones, but like I'll take a few videos, you know what I'm saying, for like my personal stuff, and so I could post later. But then, like I'm in the moment, like I'm in the pit. I'm down with the Clique, and it's amazing. So thank you so much, man. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Rufio.
Yeah,
Great talking to you.
You too.
Thanks.